Are live. Hello. This is Stephen in wonderfully wet Wiltshire. We've had thunderstorms, we've had rain, but we're still going live. So hello to everybody on Facebook, hello to everybody on YouTube, and hello to everybody on the website. I don't think anybody's actually watching on the website. We're going to go preview mode and go live on Amazon. Now, there's an extra step I've got to take. That's my iPad in the corner shot there. My phone's gone off. Let's switch my phone back on. So my phone is back on. Just a second. It seems to have made up its own mind as to where it wants to go. So I put that back there. And the additional step I've got to take is to go to my sales system and add an item down in my staging area. And just to make sure it's there. Really, it's there. We're good. Okay. Now, just to let you take a look outside, if we go out into the garden, you can see the raindrops on the window. It has been pouring with rain today, and the garden is grateful for it. Angelica's not, though, because Angelica's out and about at the moment, and hopefully she didn't get too wet. I'll find out when she actually returns. But that's the weather in the UK at the moment, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and it's time for me to come on screen. Okay, so I'm here. My phone is going off and sending signals out here, there, and everywhere. Hopefully you can't hear it, but we are live, and we're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And we are live on Amazon Live. And we say hello to everybody who's watching on Amazon Live. Thank you for joining me today. First thank you of the day goes to Barry. Barry, who's liked the video on Facebook. Barry is watching on Facebook, so thank you, Barry. Barry is in Sarnia in Ontario in Canada. This is a global show, and I'm hoping that some of my friends actually join me and comment whilst we're live. I can see your comments on Amazon, so if you have something to say, then please do make a comment. Right, okay, now I'm broadcasting today. If I change the logo, I'm broadcasting today from BeLive. Okay, so that's where we're broadcasting from. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about webcams, microphones, audio gear, live video, and Fitbits. And I've got the new Fitbit, and I've got a comment coming up on screen from Guy. So let's come back, say hello to Guy, because the comment is going to appear. Hello from Washington State. Thanks again for the tip on the S22. I'm glad that it worked. Okay, because there's a problem with an app. And the thing about apps is, Guy had a problem with an app yesterday, and he commented whilst I was live, and I gave a possible solution, and it worked. Okay, the thing about it is, if anything goes wrong, the only thing you can do is switch it on and off again. Now, in terms of apps, that means delete the app and reinstall it. And it worked on the Samsung Galaxy S22, which is here, which I'll be talking about later. And if I go out and come back, just give me a second. And then if I go out and then come back into me, then we should see in a second. Hopefully this is going to work. It's got the wrong title on it, but it'll do. It's not Wednesday. Okay, this is my Thursday show. It is my Thursday show, isn't it? So let's click on there and switch the volume down. And if I go like this and go like that, then we're actually broadcasting this broadcast on Facebook. And as you will see, if I take the BeLive logo off, it will disappear from the screen below me as well. Right, so this is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which is down the carousel. We're going to be talking about it today, and all good. But there you go, the logo's disappeared. So this is a live video, and this is coming through from Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. If you're watching on either of those platforms, then please click the link, and that will bring you directly to Amazon Live, which is where the action is. Say hello to Nick. And Nick is saying, hi, Stephen, good afternoon. And Nick is also saying, I'm setting myself up, but wanted to say hi. Okay, Nick is going to be live on Amazon Live shortly. So good luck, Nick. Hope everything works smoothly today. And thank you for the comment. And comment has been made on Facebook and on, well, it's been made on Amazon Live, as you can see. And yeah. Okay, and when talking about the S22, mention it works with 6E Wi-Fi. I will. Thank you very much. Is that? Yeah, it is 6E. Okay, I will do that. Thank you for the tip, Guy. I shall include it when I talk about this phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S22. I've got the 256 gig version, and Guy has got the 512. And I'll be talking about that shortly. Now, if you're watching on, just let me put this phone the right way up. I don't need that yet. Let's go here, BBC News. And I'm going to keep an eye on the BBC News. I'll tell you why during this broadcast. And over to Guy. And Guy is saying a faster router is required. Okay, understood. Thank you. Okay, we're just being upgraded here, and we're getting a new gigabit Wi-Fi, gigabit internet. Looking forward to it. They're laying cables 2 roads over. They've got to come to our road yet. When they do, you'll know about it, and I'll be able to upgrade my setup and Angelica's setup at the same time. Okay, one of the things we do have, if I go here and bring this on screen, is that I can, right, you can see it's not raining at the moment. Doesn't mean it's not going to rain, but it's not raining at the moment. Okay, first item in the carousel is this. This is the Logitech Brio Ultra. It's $134.19, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And over to Chris. Chris is watching live as well. Hello from Belgium. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you. Brilliant. Okay, now let's take the card off. We can hide that because I've spoken about that. And say hello to another friend from Staines in Middlesex, Corinda Marley, who is a great friend and great supporter of everybody who broadcasts on Amazon Live. Thank you for joining, Corinda. Okay, and I'm going to switch my camera on, and I'm going to go like this. If I go like this will probably work. Okay, so first camera we're going to look at is we're going to look at cameras and microphones today. Just out of interest, down in the carousel, if I go here, I'm going all over the place today, but if we go here away from the window to my desktop, you're listening to the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which is down in the carousel today. Let's just highlight it for a moment. The Elgato Wave 3 microphone, $149.99. You're listening to it, and there's no better test than for any microphone than to actually listen to it. So that's the microphone you'll be listening to throughout this broadcast. Although, just let's catch up with the comments, come back to me for a minute and go over to Guy. And Guy is saying, right, okay. So Netgear Orbiquad band router with 2 satellite extenders, coverage up to 1,000 square feet, 200 devices. My Wi-Fi at the moment is only 100 devices, and it's an Amazon choice. Okay, thank you for the information, Guy. And I'll search that out after the broadcast and talk about it in future broadcasts. My OBSBot 4K had, just a minute, has arrived. Okay, good. Okay, I'll give you some hints, tips, and tricks about the OBSBot 4K, but let's get underway and say welcome to the broadcast with Stephen live from England. You are watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. Now, when you think of Wiltshire, you should be thinking of Stonehenge, Salisbury, Avebury, all the beautiful places that surround us. And very fortunate to live here. But today is a day of rain and wind and lightning, thunder and lightning. Fortunately, it didn't come too close. 30 minutes ago, I was thinking, should I just switch everything off? But I thought, no, let's, because I counted between the thunder and the lightning, it was about 20 seconds. So it was 20 miles away. So I thought perhaps it'll just pass and not hit Devizes. I live in Devizes in Wiltshire, which is 93 miles from London. And if you think of Stonehenge, Avebury, Salisbury, then that's the area of the country I'm in. And it was just, well, I decided to go ahead with the show, and I'm here. I'm watching. I've got 2 eyes. I've got 3 eyes today. I'm watching the weather, because if it comes thundering and lightning again, I've got to be prepared to actually just sort of take a break. And then the other thing is that we're watching the news in the UK today. Okay, so thank you for joining me live. I'm going to just X that. Okay, now I was curious about 4K, broadcasting in 4K. And I wanted a camera which would broadcast in 4K. Such a camera is here in my carousel. If I go here, this is the camera. It's the Logitech Brio, and it is, in fact, the Logitech Brio 4K webcam. So thank you for watching on Amazon. Appreciate it. It is an Ultra 4K webcam. So it can do 720, 1080 and 4K. 720 is DVD, 1080 is HD, and 4K is somewhere up there. Now, the higher the number, the better the quality of the picture. And that is very true. And 4K is the best that we as consumers can actually get today. So, well, it won't work on BeLive, it won't work on Restream or any other web-based software, because they can't cope with 4K yet. Though technically, there is no problem. The 2 twin problems are the internet has got to be good enough, and to broadcast at 4K takes more pixels and therefore more data, and it's got to be faster. As Guy hinted a moment ago, you need a fast router. And for a fast router to work at its best, you need fast internet. You need gigabit internet. The other thing is the browser originally wasn't designed for doing this. Yeah, when Tim Berners-Lee sat down and designed the first ever browser software, he wasn't thinking that we'd actually be broadcasting live video over it. Now, browsers are improving all the time, and no doubt it will catch up. For the moment, if you want to broadcast in 4K, you need an external program. You need OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster. And basically, if you go for OBS, then you add the Brio camera, you set your destination to YouTube, and you set your resolution to 4K. Okay, so you've got 4K. And then you can broadcast to YouTube in 4K, and people can watch you in 4K. Now, the first thing I need to do, because it's getting a bit dark over here, just let me get some light on the subject. Okay, so that's better. Okay, thunder and lightning out the window. I can show you that, just a minute. If I go over here and I go here, then the weather at the moment is decidedly threatening. So we're going to keep a weather eye on that. So you've got the OBS, add your camera, destination YouTube, broadcasting 4K. And basically that's it. That's all you need to do. Broadcast out to YouTube in 4K. People can watch you in 4K. People can watch the replay in 4K. And everything that you're sending to YouTube doesn't cost. It's totally free. YouTube have provided us with 4K video at no cost. So once you've got the Brio, then you can use it in 4K directly to YouTube. Now, the Brio camera, which is what we're talking about at the moment, if I go off solo, you see the Brio camera bottom right now. What we're talking about is basically, it's got twin microphones. You can see the lens in the center. You've got the twin microphones either side, but they're noise cancelling. Now, incredibly, just a few days ago, we had temperatures in the UK between 75 and 95 degrees, which is too hot for us. So we opened the windows, and everybody else opened their windows, and we could hear all the noises outside. Now, my neighbour is fitting a new bathroom. and he was sawing, he was banging, he was installing his bathroom and making quite a racket. I heard it, but because I've got a noise cancelling microphone, nobody else heard it. Yeah, the only thing that could be heard was my voice, which hopefully is the same today. If anything goes bang, crash, wallop in my studio, you won't hear it. So if I knock something over, I'm safe. That's the first thing about noise cancelling microphone. It does dampen and even makes external noises disappear. And the prime example of that is if you have a dog and you're on a Zoom call and the dog barks, you will hear it. But if you've got a noise cancelling microphone, nobody else will. Now, the camera has HD auto light correction. If I this is a great time to actually demonstrate this. If I switch my lighting off, I go totally dark. You can still see me. The camera is trying to compensate, but I really today actually need the lighting on. Yeah, then you can see me better. In fact, the more lighting I have, the better you can see me. So whilst ordinarily we just use the Logitech Litra Glow light, today we're using the room lights as well. Okay, so now I've got the room lights on, and before we move on, Corinda's typing away. Let's catch up with Corinda, and Corinda is saying, "My hotspot's arrived," and is the software on the Brio the Logitech G Band? No, that's the lighting software, Corinda. And is the Samsung 22 Ultra? We got 4K camera? Nope. On the Samsung 22 Ultra, we've got an 8K camera, but we're not on the Ultra yet. I can see you correct. It was so hot. It's raining today in Wiltshire, Corinda. But with noise cancellation, when you click your fingers, people can hear it. Because I don't know, it depends how you set it up. Basically, I'm using crisp.ai for noise cancellation today, and crisp.ai is quite probably the best software for noise cancellation. Although I'm telling you, the Brio's got noise cancellation. The best is actually an external piece of software called crisp.ai. I'm going to write that in. In terms of broadcasting on Zoom, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, just a minute. Let me type this in and let me type it in properly because I don't want to mislead you. So I'm going to go there. Just a minute. I nearly got it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's close. I'm using crisp.ai. Just go to the site. You can use it for free. Yeah, and you can use noise cancellation, whatever camera or microphone you're using, it simply works. And the only thing that can be heard, there's only two voices can be heard today. That's my voice and Alexa. Will it rain today?
It might rain tonight. There's a 55% chance at 7 p.m.
Right, so it's going to rain at 7 o'clock tonight. I hate to tell Alexa, it's actually raining now. Okay, so Crisp.ai noise cancellation software, there's a free version and then there's a paid version. I've had the paid version for the last 2 years. So, high definition auto light correction. Okay, we just looked at that. And basically, as I said, if I turn the lights off, then you can still see me. Right, now the Brio has a wide field of view. It's got a 90-degree field of view, which is there, an arc going around there, and that's pretty good. Yeah, some of the cameras we'll look at don't have that, but it's got a 90-degree field of view, and just to label the point, it's 4 times the resolution of a typical webcam. In fact, if I go down here, and the auto light adjustment we just used is called Right Light, it's proprietary. And then you've got 3 fields of view, 90 degrees, 78 or 65. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you why you should download the software. With every device you get, whether it be a camera or a microphone, anything electrical, there is software to go with it. And the software you can get for your Logitech camera is called Logitech Capture. Go to logitech.com and say hello to Chris again. Go to logitech.com, search for Logitech Capture, download it. It knows all about your camera. It'll take control of it, and I'm going to use it now to actually demonstrate. So I'll take Chris's comment first. So let's take that off the screen and go over here and go to Chris. And Chris in Belgium is saying, Scott, crisp, it's a great time saver. And it's, well, whether you're recording video for students at school or anything, crisp just works so simply. And Corinda is saying, so when the camera is released in February 17, is it the same as C920X that came out after the Brio, before the Brio? Okay, are you watching an old video? Because I've not put the date on screen yet, Corinda. You've got a good memory, I'll give you that. Just to confirm that, as Corinda says, the camera was released on February 7th, 2017. It's been revised since then, and I am using a version which is 2 years old. And back to Corinda, anything we missed? Okay, I think we've got it all. 920X came out in 2020. Okay, so download the software, and the software is called Logitech Capture. Okay, and you can do this. Now, you may think that I am sat in front of a brick wall. That's close. At first glance, if you've not got the sound on, then I can understand that you would think I was sat in front of a brick wall. But the thing is, if you've got Logitech Capture software, there are things that you have more control over. I'm going to explain why now. I'm going to zoom out once, twice, and go to 90 degrees. This is what I actually look like. This is my office, and you can see the books over there, including my German language books. I've got a German lesson tonight with Angelica and with Kevin. And then over there, you've got my Samsung S22. Oh, sorry, not the phone. You've got my Samsung all-in-one PC. They don't make those anymore. I wish they did. Behind me, you've got the backdrop, which I'll talk about in a moment. It's the T-stand and the backdrop combined that allow me to do this. And I've got to say that before we move on, this is the camera's default settings. So if you plug the camera in, don't download the software, you will look like this on screen. It will show everything behind you. Yeah, which is good. Or depends on your this is all about personal choice. How do you actually want to look on screen? So if I take that off, we can go from the camera's default settings by clicking 3 buttons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've gone from 90 degrees and not zoomed in to zooming in twice and 78 degrees. And if I go for the next one, we said a few moments ago that we had 90, which I've just shown you, 78 you're seeing now, 65. Well, this is 65. And what happens is if I go 65, I'm much too close to the screen. I'm not comfortable presenting like this. I like to be at 78. Now, this is all a personal choice, and you can decide exactly how you look on camera. Totally your choice. Now, Brio, I've had it for 2 years. I've no problems with it. It's perched on my BenQ monitor, which is also down in the carousel. It is a 4K. Well, let's just go through what it is, because I've written it down. As anybody who's watched my broadcast before knows that I do write things down. I'm going to bring this into the broadcast, take myself full screen, and if I go back here and go back again. Okay, so let's just run through the main features of the let's just run through the main features of Logitech Brio. I've got them on screen. I'm going to take it full screen so you can see them. Okay, it is Logitech Brio 4K webcam, released, as Corinda said, February 7th, 2017. It's Ultra 4K HD video. It can do 4K 1080 and 720. It's got high definition light auto correction called Right Light. It's got noise cancelling microphones so nobody can hear the dog bark. It's got a wide field of view, presets on 90, 78 and 65 degrees. It is 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. It's got versatile mounting options. I'll come to that in a minute. Camera default settings, get the software so you don't have to use the default. And the software is Logitech Capture. Okay. Right. Okay. So we covered everything there. And over to Corinda. And Corinda is saying, so the green screen behind the wall. Yeah, the green screen is behind the wall. Crinder's watched me before. And can the old spot do that? Do what? Hang on. Okay, you can, yeah, I mean, basically, for the Logitech Brio, you get the Logitech software. For the OBSBot, you go to obspot.com and you download the OBSBot software, and you can do exactly the same with the OBSBot software, because the OBSBot has got defaults, camera defaults. And what you need to do is to actually have the software so that you can get away from the camera defaults. Yeah, so you can zoom in, you can get yourself center of screen, you can get yourself headroom so that you feel comfortable on screen. That's what it's all about. Basically, whatever camera you've got, you should be looking to get yourself comfortable on screen, have headroom, be in the center of the screen, and if you can, download the free software. You paid for the camera, software is free, just download it. Okay, now as Corinda pointed out, behind me, if I zoom out again, once, twice, I did threaten to actually sort this out, but I've not got around to it. If I go to 90 degrees, okay, behind me, and I'm looking in the carousel now, good, is highlighted the T-shaped stand. Okay, now you can see the 4 clips on the top, there's a bar across the top, and there's one central pole. The problem that I had is lack of space. So if I got a stand to put the backdrop on, which had 2 poles, one either side, I couldn't have fitted it in the office because of the obstructions in the way. So I wanted a stand which was 1 pole in the middle and 2 poles going out. And that's what the eMart T stand is. It's a T stand. It spells out the letter T. And basically that is holding my backdrop. Now I can use it to pin other backdrops. Okay, I promise that this weekend I'm going to iron this backdrop and put it up on a T stand. So you buy the T stand once, and then you can use as many backdrops as you want. And for around about $55 or less, you can change the way you look. One of the things is about being on a Zoom call is basically you can change the way you look. If you're in a room that's busy, you can put in a backdrop and you can zoom in. Now, as far as the backdrops are concerned, we're lucky. Photographers have been there before us. There are literally on Amazon thousands of photography backdrops we can choose from. This is the one I chose, but if I go over here in the carousel, just I can do it here as well. Just a minute, so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Just a second. Somewhere in here, actually trying to control everything. And okay, I'm going to bring this up on screen. I'm going to hide that. A minute, just a minute. Okay, if I hide that card, okay, this is the stand that we're talking about. It's a T stand. Yeah, it's $39.55. It's down in the carousel. It's from eSmart and it's T-shape. So you can see it's only got, this is brilliant because rather than describe it, I can actually show you. Oh, wonderful. I'm in my Belive studio. We've got all sorts of things we can do in the studio, including I've got in my studio every item that's in the carousel, downloaded from Amazon just after I went live, which is making Belive one of the best systems to use to broadcast to Amazon. Rider to that, I actually work for Belive. Okay. So this is the T stand. And basically you can see the 4 clips on top and you just put the backdrop on over the top of the bars and then you clip it with the 4 clips. And in case of my brick wall, you make sure that it's straight. Okay. Now I did broadcast once or twice when it was sort of tilted. I've now got that sussed and my backdrop is straight and my next backdrop will be ironed and straight. So that's $39.55 and that is down in the carousel. And the thing that you need then, I'm just going on through my carousel till I find it. I will persist. I'm going to put them next to each other next time. Okay, down in the carousel now is the backdrop that you see behind me. So we're using that stand Yeah, that T-stand that's down in the carousel, and then a backdrop. Now, as I said, for less than $55, you can change the way you actually look on camera. Just need the T-stand, $39.55, and then the backdrop itself from $14.99, so from $15. So for under $55, you can change the way you look on a Zoom call, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. $55. Okay, and we're going to go over to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, does it have magnets? No, it's got 4 clips. There's no magnets involved. That's presumably you were talking about this. Just a minute. Oh, hello. Right, so Gilliam, thank you for joining me. Magnets. I suppose you could use magnets, but this is actually using clips, and I hope that you're actually talking about the backdrop that's behind me, but thank you for joining me. And the next point is, does it have magnets? No, it's basically it's tack. It's just the 4 clips that make it work. And over to Corinda. So with the soft lights, does it work on a brick wall? I've not lit the wall. The only thing that I've lit the office and I've lit me, but I'm not like Grant. I'm looking at new lighting, but unlike Mr. Grant Saunders, who's a fellow Amazon insider and broadcaster, I don't yet have mood lighting, because when Grant goes live on Amazon Live, as he might do later today, he's got mood lighting, which he projects onto his wall. But I don't have any yet, Corinda. I'm working my way towards it. So, T-stand and the backdrop, and you have got yourself a brand new set, because there are literally thousands of backdrops that you can use. And I'm just going, if I go here, just a minute, shall we just see if I can find it? We're going to take a tour through everything that's in the carousel. And most of the, oh, wait a minute. Let's go here and go here. If I go here, arriving tomorrow, delivered by Amazon, will be this Loom Cube 30-inch tripod stand. And it's going to replace, if I go here, it's going to replace this. Okay, so the Loom Cube is on its way to replace this tripod stand. So I'm looking forward to that, because it's got a light built in as well. So I'll be talking about that probably next week. Okay, back to me. And I'm going to take myself off solo. Okay, so we're just going through, and I'm just going to try and get to, just give me a second. I'm probably going too fast for this. You can see everything that's in the carousel, and hopefully in a minute, that's my monitor. That is my iPad. That's the Wi-Fi I'm using. Okay, that's the keyboard for any Microsoft Surface, and the pen for the Microsoft Surface. And that is the Microsoft Surface Book 2. That's the mouse. Okay, I will in a minute actually get where I'm going. That's an Pivo stand, which I used to hold my Samsung Galaxy phone. There's my Aftershocks headphones. And over here, got it. Okay, let's put that full screen. This is the backdrop. It's $14.99. It's basically down in the carousel. It was the highlighted item, and you can get thousands of different backdrops. Okay. Right. Let's take that full screen, come back to me. I'm here, and basically what I'm going to do, having talked about all that, is I'm going to zoom in twice, go to 78 degrees, and I'm back. We're back. Okay, so thank you for watching me on Amazon Live. Just a reminder, because we've been in the show for quite a while, if I go here, then your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've looked at Logitech Brio. In about 20 minutes time, we're looking at the Samsung 22 mobile. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching and spending part of your day with me. And if you've got any questions about live broadcasting, please ask. I mean, the thing is that I'm one of 6 Brits who broadcast on Amazon Live. We're all grateful to be here. 3 of us broadcast from the Be Live studio, which is what you're watching now, be.live. And there are probably over 2,000 Amazon Live broadcasters, all of whom are independent. Yeah, we don't work for Amazon. We're independent. And when we give a review of an item in the carousel, as I'm just doing now, let's go here. When I give you a review of an item, like the backdrop, it's because I've got it. Okay. And you've seen it. It's behind me now. So when I talk about items in the carousel, I actually own them and use them on a daily basis. And I want to go and come back to me and say hello. Corinda's last comment was, my husband doesn't have, just a minute. No, the stand behind me is nothing to do with anything. Yeah, the other spot is just a camera. The other spot, just a minute. Don't want to confuse things. This ob spot ends here. Below it is a tripod stand, which is down in the carousel, which is a separate item. And basically you buy the tripod and then you attach the camera. It's got a thread in the bottom of it. And basically that's it. Yeah. So you can use the tripod with any camera. You could use it with the Brio, you could use it with the 920X, but you can also use it with the Obspot. So the tripod is not part of the camera. And we say hello to, and I'm going to come back now and say hello to Dr. Elo. Dr. Elo, thank you for joining me, Efreen. And over to Chris. Might have missed a comment, Chris. I'll come back to it. Chris is saying hello, and I love it when people talk to each other. And back to Chris's last comment, which I missed. I'm going to get it on screen now. Perhaps you can use a backdrop mood lighting. It's possible. It's possible. You could, if you're brought. Well, I'm not going to go into the topic of mood lighting, but you could use lighting to enhance the backdrop. I'm pretty happy at the moment with just a brick wall, but having listened to you and yourself and Corinda, I will look at enhancing my lighting. Okay, we're on a journey in live broadcasting, whether you're broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. What we're always trying to do is improve our broadcasts. We upgrade our cameras, we upgrade our microphones, we upgrade our lighting, we get backdrops, we use green screens, we get noise cancelling software. We're actually trying to improve how we look on camera. And that's basically why I broadcast from live, because it does everything I want it to. Yeah. During the course of this video, I'm going to show you captions on screen, which I can do like that. I'm going to show you images, which I can do like this. Yeah. And I'm going to play you video. So basically, we're always trying to improve what we do. And it's a continuous journey, continual, never-ending improvement. And that's down to Tony Robbins. Is where I first heard that. And over to Dr. Elo. Hi from Washington, D.C., metro area. Christine, happy Thursday. Okay, so we can actually, people are talking to each other. Brilliant. Okay, wonderful. I'm talking to each other on Amazon and on Facebook. Okay, thank you for watching me. If you have any questions at all, then please do ask. We're here to help. On Amazon, you can find Dr. Elo. He's live on Amazon. You can find Corinda. Corinda is live on Amazon. And you can find, I think, if I go back up a bit, you can find Nick Wood on Amazon. So we're a team, we're a family, in actual fact, of live broadcasters, all of whom have known each other for quite a while, and we just love going live, as does my good friend, Ed Weinberg. And hello from Orlando. Hello, Ed. Thanks for joining. And just a minute. Thanks for joining. It's always a pleasure to actually to have you on a live broadcast. And over to Guy. And Guy is saying, right, okay, taking the opportunity, bit of promotion. Don't blame you, Guy. So if you want to know more about Guy and his podcasts, then please do click the link that Guy has posted there. And over to Ed. And Ed is saying, Orlando. Yes, I knew what you meant. I know. I mean, you did. I mean, the thing is that we get so excited, we actually occasionally misspell words. I'm sure Orlando is a place as well, but Orlando is probably the one we've heard of most. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Thank you for the comments. Okay, now in the carousel, what I'm going to do, I need to synchronize things. So let me synchronize this first. As I say, if you have any questions about any aspect of live broadcasting, then please do ask. There's something exciting starting in a short time, which I can't tell you about there, but it will help anybody who's thinking about live broadcasting, anybody who's thinking about being on Amazon Live. Because if you're watching me now and thinking to yourself, I can do that, well, I've got news for you. You can. This is a learned skill. Yeah, we weren't born with the ability to go live on camera. Yeah, it's a learned skill. It's something you can learn. Confidence is something you can learn. The trade, yeah, of going live is learnable. Okay, and there's something exciting which will actually help you coming up, and I'll keep you informed about that. Just a hint though, just a hint. If I go here, there are exciting things on the way. I just want to press apply here. There are exciting things on apply. There are exciting things on the way from BeLive, be.live, and I can't tell you much now, but I'm just going to go to the carousel. I've got to get this in sync. Okay, I've got the carousel on my iPad, and I've got to make sure it's the same as the carousel in my studio. So I've got an extra task to do. But the thing is that it means that if you're watching me on Facebook and YouTube, and people have been watching me on Facebook and YouTube and Amazon Live for over a year now, when I've been talking about something on Amazon Live, you can see it. It's down in the carousel. It's the featured item. On Facebook and YouTube, you couldn't. Now you can, thanks to BeLive. Okay, because this is exactly what people can see on Amazon. So let's go side by side. And it is the OBSBot Tiny 4K PTZ webcam. And I've got two OBSBots. Yeah, one OBSBot is there. This is an OBSBot. This is how it looks. You've got the lens on top, which is on an arm, and you've got a twin 2-axis gimbal underneath. This camera can go through 140 degrees. Yeah, you've got the base at the bottom. It's a USB-C connection, so it plugs into your Mac or your Windows PC quite easily. As Corinda observed, it's on a tripod stand that is not supplied with the camera. You buy it separately. It is down in the carousel. Okay, but the OBSBot, this is the first one I bought back in January, and it's down in the carousel. But then OBSBot brought out the next version, which is the OBSBot 4K. So in other words, like the Brio, this camera can broadcast in 4K, but it can do a lot more. Now, what I'm going to do during the course of the next 10 minutes or so is I'm going to tell you all about the OBSBot and why I love the OBSBot, which I do. I've got two of them, so I must. Then I'm going to do a demonstration of what the OBSBot can do that other cameras can't. And then finally, I'm going to do a demonstration of comparing the Brio with the OBSBot so you can see them side by side. Because I'm on BeLive, I can have two cameras in my studio and it just works seamlessly. So take the BeLive logo off and put this one on. Okay, so you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. I want to say thank you for watching. And I'm going to go side by side. Okay, and I want to say the backdrop I've got, by the way, is from, where did I get it from? Oh, up unsplash.com. The backdrop came from. Beautiful colorways. Right, so what it means I've got to do is I've actually got to switch this camera off and switch this camera on. Okay, so that's an OBSBot there. Okay, this is the OBSBot. There's the lens, there's the 2-axis gimbal, and then the body underneath. It's $269. It is a 4K camera, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But to do that, I'm going to come here. Right, so you're now looking at me, and the OBSBot is looking at me, and This is the Ultraspot camera. This is what it looks like when you're actually using it. So we're going to go through the main features of the Ultraspot. And if I go back here, what I do, okay, because of all the products in the carousel, I can't possibly remember everything. That's what I tell myself. So what I've done is I've written things down. So we're looking at the Ultraspot Tiny 4K PTZ camera. PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom. Yeah, PTZ. Which means it's more than, if we call the Brio a static camera, then the Ultraspot is a moving camera. It's AI powered. It's got framing and autofocus. It's giving me headroom. It's giving me space. And it's also got, if I go like this, it's got autofocus. So it will focus on the object. This is a Microsoft Surface mouse, by the way, and put me in the background. It will focus on, just a minute. I just love this feature. I just want to, yeah. It will focus on my phone. Yeah. It will put it in the center of the screen. So autofocus and AI powered framing. The AI part I'm going to come on to. It is a 4K camera. Okay, so it's a 4K conference camera. Now I'm going to explain why it's a great conference camera in a couple of minutes time when I do my demo. It has dual omnidirectional microphones built. If I go here, it's got dual omnidirectional microphones which are built in, which makes it ideal because it also has auto tracking because of the gimbal. I'm going to demonstrate that in a moment. It has a low light correction. So if I switch the light off, I'll go darker, but the camera is making sure you can still see me. And if I switch the light back on, you can now see me more clearly. Okay, now, low light correction. It's got magical gesture control. If you go like this, the camera will follow you. If you go like that, the camera will stop following you. If you go like that, the camera will zoom in. If you go like that, the camera will zoom out. Now, those hand gestures that I've just used, I'm confusing the Ultraspot at the moment. Those hand gestures are just used. You just need to be in front of the camera lens. You don't need to be near your computer. So you can control it with hand gestures without being anywhere near your computer. It has dual omnidirectional microphones. Okay, now this is important. It doesn't have noise cancellation, it has noise reduction. And in a conference setting, this is important. So I'm going to explain the conference setting in a minute's time. Now, the beautiful thing about the camera is that it's got 3 preset positions. So if I go widescreen to get a better effect, just give me a second. We're going to go widescreen. Okay, it's got 3 preset positions. So position 1 is me. Position 2 is the desktop. Okay, so that's the desktop. And position 3 is the garden. And as you can see, rain drops on the window and it's threatening to rain again. Although we spoke to Alexa and she said it's not going to rain until 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, and now it can come back to me. So it's got 3 presets of positions. You can change them at any time. Okay, and it's so easy to do. I was just clicking one button each time to actually move the camera. Just works perfectly. The next thing about it is if I come down to here, so the 3 preset positions, and it's got AI tracking. Okay, now this may or may not work. Okay, I'm going to click a button here. Okay, I'm going to move backwards. Okay, and I'm going to stand up. Now, the beautiful thing about, just a minute. Let's try again. We are having, it and I are having strange times. Okay. This should have worked first time. It would have been more impressive if it had worked the first time. But the Oswald Tiny has AI tracking, which means that it can actually follow me around the room. And every time that it follows me, it's making sure that I'm in the center of the screen and that I've got headroom. Yeah. Behind me is the backdrop and the T stand. It's got the tracking. So basically, with this camera, you can be sat down or stood up. So I can present stood up and I can show you. I didn't even demonstrate this beautiful leather case for the Samsung Galaxy S22 yesterday, S22 Ultra. And a good friend of mine, Divine, actually bought one. Absolutely brilliant. So I love this case. It's one-piece leather. It's got machine stitching. It's got a magnet flap. And it takes, basically, we'll do the iPhone 12, 13, Samsung Galaxy S21, S22. It is down in the carousel. But presenting stood up is a different experience from presenting sat down. Yeah. So the fact that this can actually track me as I move around the office, and it's tracking my every movement, is absolutely brilliant. Now, earlier, we said that the Obspot 4K is an amazing conference camera. If you imagine you've got a conference table and you've got 5 people around the table and they're going to do a Zoom conference going out to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. And how many cameras do you need? You need one camera. One camera for 5 people around a table, and using the software, you can go and feature speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 4, and back to speaker 1. So because the camera is on a twin axis gimbal as a conference camera, it's ideal because somebody using the software can move between speakers. Now, we also mentioned earlier that this has got an omnidirectional microphone with noise reduction, which means that if you put this camera in the center of the conference table, it can pick up all 5 speakers. So people speaking. Yeah, not speakers, people. It can pick up everybody in the conference, their voices automatically. You don't need to move it. It's omnidirectional. So person controlling it with the software, which you can download, moves the camera from A to B to C to D to E. That's it. It's an ideal conference camera. And for $269 down in the carousel today, I would suggest that this is an excellent price. Yeah. Right. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, it's still following me. Stop following me. If I put my hand up, it should stop following me. No, it's not. Okay, let's go out to the desktop again. And while we go out to the desktop, I will sit down. Okay, so I'm sitting down now. By the way, if you want to browse the carousel whilst I'm here, if you've got any questions about what I'm talking about, then please do ask. I'll answer questions, anything in the carousel. I'll answer questions about live broadcasting. So that's the AI tracking, and it just simply works out the box. The thing I love about Obspot is they continually update the software on your desktop, and they continually update the software, the firmware. So they're always improving the product. Let's take the comments that come in. So Ed is saying, no, they're not real bricks, Ed. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. Just a minute. There is a crease in the bricks. Now, quick tip. Okay. If you want to look even more real, take the backdrop, go to your ironing board, put the backdrop with the picture side face down, take your iron on low heat, and then just iron the backdrop. Now I'm going to do it this week. When you come back next week, Ed, that crease will be gone and this will look more like a real wall. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, and over to Corinda. And Corinda is saying, I was wondering like that. Okay. And it looks, at first glance, it does look like a real wall, for which I'm grateful. And yes, I know you're joking. You're okay. I've got your sense of humor. No problem at all. Right. Okay. Now I just need to switch my iPad back on and make sure that I'm still broadcasting live, and I am. Thank you. Okay. So now we're going to do 2 things. I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison of, well, let's just do it. Okay. I'm going to take myself off solo. I'm going to hide the OBSBot photograph and I'm going to switch this camera on. People often ask me, what's the difference between the Logitech Brio and the OBSBot? Okay. They're both 4K. They're both from quality manufacturers. They're both well built. They're both well designed, and they both do the job that they're supposed to. So what's the difference? Okay. The difference is this, fingers crossed. The difference between the OBSBot and the Brio is this. Now, remember, the cameras were built for different purposes. I'm not pointing out shortcomings. I'm just pointing out the difference between the OBSBot and the Logitech Brio. Okay, I'm going to move and I'm going to stand up. And as you can see, this is the difference. The OBSBot is following my face and it knows exactly where I am. The Brio, well, the Brio hasn't got a clue. Yeah, because it's a static camera, it doesn't have tracking software and it's not meant to. So if I move around, the Brio is going to follow me as if I'm in the 90-degree field of view, but it can see my arm and it can't see me. Whereas the OBSBot is keeping me center of the screen. Now, the way I'm working this, I've got 2 cameras and 1 microphone. That's how this all works. So that's it. That is the difference. Now, whilst I sit down again, I'm going to show you, I'll come back to the comments in a second. I'm going to show you the garden. Okay, so we're going out to the garden and I'm going to sit down again. The Brio has found me. Hooray. Okay, the Brio has found me. Let's go back to the OBSBot. This is one of the 3 presets. The OBSBot is 4K and it's 4 times zoom. So I can actually zoom out and show you that we're actually looking through the office window. Yeah, that's a Logitech Litroglow light, by the way. And then I can zoom back in again. So 4 times zoom on the camera, 4K, and let's come back to me. I've never had so much fun with a webcam. It is just so magical. Not just the gesture control, but the fact that you can be sat down or stood up and it just simply works. So I'm going to take its name off screen now. I'm going to take that name off screen and I'm going to take a comment from Corinda. I'm going to try and catch up. So last comment from Ed was, Facebook thinks my post violated the community standards. Oh dear. It's still in my studio. You mean this one, Ed? Oh, it's the 3 question marks, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you put those, right, okay. I'm not going to say a word because I'm actually broadcasting live on Facebook at the moment. Okay, I empathize, totally empathize. It said it will thunder at 7 as well as rain. Well, we're 100 miles apart, Corinda, so hopefully we don't. Well, let's hope it doesn't last long, is all I'm going to say. And over to is the OBSBot, is it 2 OBSBot Tiny that do that? Both OBSBots do what I've just shown you. Thank you for reminding me, Corinda. Both OBSBots down in the carousel do what I've just shown you. They track you. I'm just so, well, as you can see, I'm impressed by it. Now, the other thing about it is it's got versatile mounting. If I go here, you can either put it on your desktop or you can mount it on a tripod. And I'm looking forward to my new tripod coming through tomorrow from Amazon. And then we'll see something. Back to me. So versatile mounting. And that's it. That is, we have been looking at the OBSBot Tiny PTZ 4K webcam. Now, if there's anything in the carousel that you want to talk about or any questions you've got, then please do ask. Yeah, I'm here. Well, this is a free service from Amazon. Basically, what you have is over 2,000 live broadcasters here to help you. Yeah, to answer your questions. I know you can go to an Amazon.com page, and you can go to the Amazon.com page for. Just let me put this in the screen and take myself off full screen. You can go. Hang on. You can go to the Amazon.com page for the OBSpot 4K by clicking the carousel. But if you come up with a question, then you can ask me whilst I'm live. That's basically the premise of the whole service. We're here to help and basically ask a question. Okay. And I may show your comment on screen. But if you ask a question, then I'll try my best to answer it. If I don't know the answer, then I will ask Corinda or Guy or Christine or Dr. Elo. So there are a group of people that I can turn to who will actually help me and help you. And we need to do is just ask the question. Okay. So that's the OBSWAT 4K. There is down the carousel. I'm just going to go here. Yeah. Now I've got two OBSPOTs. Also down in the carousel is, if I go over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is the OBSPOT. This is the original OBSPOT. It's 1080p, 720p. It's 2 times zoom, not 4 times zoom. It does everything that I've showed you. The OBSPOT 4K and well, I can prove it. Just a minute. Okay, if I go here and share screen, hopefully this will work. Just bear with me a moment. I'm going to share my screen and go here and here, and then bring this into the screen like now. Okay, this is the software you can download from OBSPOT to actually control the cameras. Yeah? And controlling a camera, if you watch, I'll put this full screen for a second. Then it's easier to see. So this is the software from OBSPOT. No, wait a minute. You actually need to be able to see me for this demonstration. So let's try for this. Okay, I can, using the software, just give me a second. I can go from me to the desktop, to the garden, and back again. 3 presets, and I can change them at any time. Now, the thing about the 1080 camera is that it is on discount today, and it is, wow, put my glasses on for that. It's 24% off. So everything I've shown you in relation to the OBSPOT 4K works on the OBSPOT Tiny 1080, which is down in the carousel and on the left-hand side here. It is a brilliant camera. It's got fast tracking. It's got everything that you need in a camera. It is a PTZ camera, pan, tilt, and zoom. And just to, if I go here, just a minute. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this or not. I'm going to try it. Just a minute. No, it's okay. I'll leave that till next time. I'm trying to do too many things. Okay, I don't want to break anything. I just want to say a big thank you for watching. So that's it. You've got the camera, you've got the software. Software controls everything. If I go here, then I can, as Karen said earlier, I can go up, I can go down, further, back to me. I can go left, I can go right. Okay, and if I make a mess of it, I can just press one button and come back to me. It's got the software controls, as you can see, if I go here, this software, oh, wait a minute, resume. Okay, the software actually controls several Obspot cameras, and I can switch from Obspot 1 to Obspot 2, and they're both doing different things. They're looking at different things. Yeah. So those are two Obspot cameras, and I'm going to come back now to the Brio. I'm going to hide that. No, I'll leave that there. I'm just going to switch cameras. Give me a second. Right, so we've switched cameras. You're now looking at, to stop confusion, you're now looking at, just a minute. Hang on. This is the Logitech Brio, which means that I can stop sharing that software. I can take that picture off screen, and you're back to me, and we're on the Logitech Brio. Okay, now if you have any questions at all, then please do ask. I'm here to help. Yeah, and I so enjoy. Well, I enjoy broadcasting in Amazon. I'm very fortunate to do so, and I love live video. I love broadcasting live, and I managed to do it 5 days a week on Amazon Live, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can join me any day. You can ask me questions. You can have a discussion, but you can just watch. Okay, and hopefully find useful information. So let's take that off screen. Right. Okay, and I'm going to zoom back in the carousel. So we've done the Obspots, and the next thing we're going to talk about is, just a minute, what can we talk about? I'm going to talk about another camera. Okay, I'm going to talk about another camera, but I can't show you it, but I can talk about it. If I go here, when Facebook Live started, or before Facebook Live started, there were tens of thousands of us broadcasting on a US-based platform called Blab, B-L-A-B. That's where I met Corinda, I think Ed as well, and that's where we got to know each other. And then Facebook Live came around, and we said to ourselves, okay, we're going to be broadcasting on Facebook Live. We need to up our game. We need to improve. And we'd been using the internal camera and the internal microphone. Okay, broadcasting on Blab, 4 people on screen, comments down the side like I've got in my studio today. And that was it, didn't go anywhere. And then along came Facebook Live, and we said, we've got to up our game. What are we going to do? And the answer was to get an external camera. Now, the external camera we got was this one. Just let me go here, so you know what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute, I've gone past it. How can that happen? I think it's this one. Hey, okay, down the carousel now is the Logitech C920X. You can see a photograph of it there. And what's more, you can see it in real life. Now, I've had, yeah, I know. I've had this camera for 7 years. Okay, and I'm going to go picture in picture now. I've had this camera for 7 years. Yeah, just let me shrink that a bit. I've had this camera for 7 years. Let me go here. Okay, this camera. This is the Logitech C920X, and as Corinda well knows, I'm going to tell the story of the Logitech C920X, and then I'm going to tell you Logitech C920X. I'm going to tell you the X stands for extra. And if Corinda's still watching, he may tell you what the extra is before I do. In a couple of minutes, software. Sorry about that. Glitch. In a couple of minutes' time, I'm going to tell you about the extra. Okay. This is at the price $69.99. It's a Logitech camera. Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss-American multinational manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California.
Alexa, stop.
The company has...
Right, so it's a Swiss-American company, Logitech. Their headquarters are in Newark, in California. And just a minute, I've got a comment come in. Just let me go down. Have I missed something? Just a second. I might have missed a comment. Oh, right. Okay, Corinda. Right. I have been watching the news. Just a moment. No, right. Okay, Corinda, I put that on too quickly. Right, my apologies. Our Queen, who was crowned in 1953, is poorly at the moment, and her family are gathering at Balmoral, and it is a difficult time because the Queen is the Queen. Long live the Queen. So a sad moment, and it's going to be a very sad moment. But I'm not going to. He's thrown me for a moment, which is expected because ever since, well, of all the people in the world who have done good, the Queen of England, over the 1670 years that she was, I'm going to lose it in a minute. So my apologies for losing it. We will try and carry on, but I may just go. But the Queen of England is unwell, and her family are gathering at Balmoral in Scotland. I didn't mean to show that message on screen. It's not true. We are just keeping a watchful eye on the Queen. I've got a news website open, and it just says the Queen's health. Royal family gathers at Balmoral amid concern for the monarch. Okay, right. This is right. I'm going to try and carry on. I do want to say thank you for actually watching me. I knew this would happen at some point. Okay, let's just go on with the point at hand. And this is a full 1080p 30 frames per second camera, and it's a great starting camera. Yeah, this is the ideal camera for yourself if you're just going on a Zoom call. It's the ideal camera for family and friends. It is a brilliant camera. It's got clear stereo audio, 2 omnidirectional microphones, put it that way around. It's got HD light auto correction. Now, the unfortunate thing is this is not plugged in, so I can't show you it. You just have to take my word for it. That you do have HD light auto correction. And there is some software we looked at earlier, which is Logitech Capture. It has low light compensation, as we just said, and it's got a 78-degree field of view. So it's not as good as the Brio. And I've had this camera 7 years, so I can attest to the build quality of this camera. You can mount it on top of your monitor. It's got a lip there, and you just adjust that. Okay, put it back up, and it just clips over. Or you can, there's a thread there, you can put this on a tripod, just as we did with the Obspot. And if we go here, and I go here, okay, so you can put it, mount the Brio or the 920 on a tripod. Come back to me. I've had mine for 7 years, but this was released 31st March 2020. So the one in the carousel is a totally upgraded version of the camera. Right, okay. Now, perhaps as well, we arrived at the point where I'm about to explain what the X is. This camera represents excellent quality, excellent value. This is 7 years old, remember, it still works as if it was new. It goes onto my Samsung all-in-one PC. But the X stands for extra, the 920X. And what we're going to do now, I'll go off solo. So that's the 920X. And if I go side by side, you can see Logitech Pro HD 920X. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring a video on screen, if I can find it, which is here. And we're going to explain, well, I'm going to explain because that's me there. That's me when I had glasses. Okay. This is me without glasses. This is me when I had glasses. Okay. Right, I'm going to turn my sound off for a moment, and this is going to explain exactly what background removal software is about. The principles are the same. Whichever software you use, it will work like this. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So it's over to me, and we're going to talk about background removal software, which comes with the C920X. And I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCAM, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCAM program. Okay, now you notice at the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCAM is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can The second thing you can do, and I just want to check something, just give me a minute, is I'm going to go to me and me. I'm actually using the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra at the moment, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go sideways. So you can actually see the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I'm live on Facebook as well as being live on Amazon Live. And if I turn up the sound, so you can actually see the Samsung. Right, okay, you can actually hear me. One of the things that I double check, once bitten, they say, and twice shy. One of the things that I check after I've played a video is that you can still hear me. Now, when you're doing a two-person show, which I do on Mondays with Nick Wood, then he will tell me my microphone is not working. But when you're broadcasting solo, how do you find out if your microphone's not working? Well, the thing is, this is one of the reasons I actually broadcast on Facebook too, is that I can actually check it on my mobile phone. Yeah. So the thing that we're going to look at now is down in the carousel, and I'm going to put it in this carousel too. Just give me a minute, and go here. And if I go a full screen, we don't need that. I can stop sharing. I can hide that. Okay. So just to go back to the 920, it is a brilliant price, and it does include 3 months of XSplit VCAM. I've been using XSplit VCAM since Jan 2019. It just keeps improving and improving, and every time they change the software, I make a video. Okay, the next item, down in the carousel is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Now you can see it looks gorgeous. In actual fact, if I go picture in picture like this, then I can show you it live, and you can see me live, and you can see that, yeah, right, I caught the light there. Right, so let me go through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, go through the main features of the Samsung Galaxy S22, and then I'm going to show you a video shot with the camera in the mobile phone, and I'm going to show you some photographs. So I'm going to show you what it can do, not just in text, but also by demonstration. Okay, so let's go back over here and go to the Samsung Galaxy S22. Okay, so its official title is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone. So this is the flagship phone from Samsung. This is their best phone to date. And I'm going to tell you why and a little bit more about it. First of all, it's the best phone I've ever had. It's 256 gig of RAM, or my good friend here, just a minute, if I can find him. Guy said, okay, if you get the Netgear router, okay, I'll come back to that. But Guy also has a Samsung Galaxy S22, and if I go here, we can see where Guy is, and here. All right, okay. And when talking about the S22, mention that it works with 6E Wi-Fi. Okay, and Guy is a good friend and is based in Washington State. And you said earlier, thanks for the tip on the S22, because I love the phone. It's got the brightest display that Samsung have ever had on the phone. I can see this when I'm outside, and I can scroll, and I can read the whole phone. It has an inbuilt S Pen. If I take the S Pen out, okay, I can make a note and I can type in, just a second. Bear with me. I'm actually trying to be legible this time. I can write with it. Okay, I can control the phone with it. The other thing is, if I make a note, I can save it. And the other thing is that if you're in a meeting and it's a phones off meeting, switch your phones off, you can, whilst the phone is off, make notes and save them. And then when the meeting is over, you can switch the phone on, you can go to the notes, and they've already been saved. It has a long battery life, and I can attest this, it lasts 24 to 30 hours at least. It's got 8K super steady video, taking videos, 8K super steady. It's got a built-in gimbal, which means that it does take steady videos. It's got nightography. On the back of the phone, we can see basically 108 megapixel lens, a 3x zoom, a 10x zoom, and the nightography lens as well, plus portrait mode. It's got an adaptive display, which goes from 120 down to 1, and that's why you can read it. And just to reiterate, it's long-lasting battery plus fast charging. And the S Pen. Now, the thing about this is that if you've got the S Pen and you go out the room with the phone and forget the S Pen, you get a message on the screen saying you've forgotten your S Pen. It is unlocked by Samsung. So you can go to your favorite carrier, and this is dual SIM. You can get 2 SIM cards. You've got 2 phone numbers, 2 sets of texts, and it's a phone. Okay. Dimensions. I'm going to put the S Pen back. Okay, try and be tidy. It is 6.8 inches. It's got a WQHD wrapped around edge screen and an adaptive refresh rate, which you mentioned a moment ago, at 120 hertz down to 1. Charging wise, it's 45 watt charging or 15 watts, depending on whether you use the brick, which is down in the carousel as well, or you use wireless charging. Choice is yours. The rear camera is 108 megapixel and the front camera is 40 megapixel. And the camera was released on Feb 7th, 2022. This is this year's model. This is the best phone that Samsung have produced. It's on discount today. It's down in the carousel at $999.99, which, just excuse me a moment, because I want to get this right, I think is 17% off. Okay, so if you click the link in the carousel now, because we get special discounts whilst we're live, it is, if you're looking for a phone, have a look at, just click the link in the carousel, have a look at the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. It's 17% off. You save $200 today, roughly. Don't quote me on that, but that's if you click the link in the carousel. Now, I can talk about this phone for hours, okay? But what I'm going to show you now is a video taken with the phone. Okay, so this video, just let's take that off screen. This video was created using the Samsung Galaxy S22. This is a real video. It's not a mock-up. It's not somebody else's video. It's a video that I made. And the video itself was made Samsung Galaxy S22. Just let me go a bit further down. And I think I've got it further. This is one, I'm looking for something. Just a minute. Okay, I'm there. Video uses Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and the DJI OM5 gimbal, which is down in the carousel. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch my microphone off, and for 2 minutes, I will play the video. And you are visiting, just a minute, you are visiting the Quartz Garden in Wiltshire. Now, you wouldn't know it if you looked at that, but it was originally a factory, an industrial estate. It's now a English country garden, one of the best English country gardens, and we're going to take a look round. So microphone off, video on. The Quartz Garden, and just had lunch. And the thing about the Quartz Garden is it's a beautiful place to actually stroll around and just enjoy the gardens. So I'm just going to walk around, and I am using my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and my new DJI OM5 gimbal. I've got the internal microphone on the Samsung, so no external mic. I'll try an external mic next time, but it's just so beautiful today. It's about 28 degrees, and I'm just going to try something here, because if I do this, I should be able to change the view. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to come down again. It's actually stuck, isn't it? Wait a minute. Let's adjust this. This is just a trial. Okay, so I'm going to go like that, or like that, or like that. I've got to be able to see what's on the screen, so I can see what's on the screen. And just wondering how steady this is. This is better than actually holding the phone. It's a lot easier to actually grip the gimbal than it is to actually grip the phone. So this is a win. But there's so many things this gimbal can do, and I really haven't learnt half of them, or even a quarter of them. But let's look at the borders. And there are people here today. Car park was full, but I don't think everybody actually came over here. But there's just flowers here in full bloom. We are at the beginning of August, first week in August, and the grounds here are just absolutely. And I'm back. So that video was actually shot with the Samsung Galaxy S22 and the DJI OM5 gimbal. I've spelt it correctly now, and it was of the Quartz Garden in Wiltshire. So the video used the Samsung Galaxy S22 and the gimbal, and I'm live now talking about it on Facebook. And if I press that button, you can still hear me. Okay, So that's 2 videos played, and I'm still here. Yay. All good. And I want to say a big thank you. Just a minute. If I just take this off and go over here. Your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about live broadcasting, Logitech Brio, Samsung 22. We've talked about. Thank you for watching. And if you've got any questions, then please do ask. This is a free resource from Amazon Live. Okay, next step is what sort of photographs does the camera take? We said it's got 8K photographs. If I bring them on screen and I go here, just give me a second. I need to set this up. So let's just come back to me and I will set it up here. Okay, and I'm going and nearly there. I think I've got it. I've got it. Right, okay. So basically, you've watched the video, the 8K video. We're only broadcasting 720 today, so you're not getting the best representation of it, but it does work superbly well. Let's take that off screen. Then you've got the fact that it's $200 discount today. And now we're going to look at some photographs taken with it. So let's go here. No, let's go here. In actual fact, what I'm going to do is just drop that photo for a moment because you know what it looks like. I'm going to go picture in picture and we're going to look at some images taken with the mobile phone. Right, this is the first image. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Birdland, which is in the Cotswolds in England. And it was a day out and we saw flamingos. And then I zoomed in using the zoom on the camera and got this beautiful shot of the flamingos at Birdland. And I'm not the world's best photographer, but then I went on to the penguins. And yes, 5 of the penguins are asleep, but 1 of them is awake and it's nearly feeding time. And again, I was about 30 feet away from the penguins and I just zoomed in. The next photograph, okay. The next photograph, this is my partner, Angelica. Angelica is a German language tutor and translator. And this is a beautiful photograph for many reasons, not least of which it's got Angelica in it and it's got flamingos as well. This is our garden. Angelica and I have a garden and we planted some wildflowers and they came out to be so colourful. I mean, we've got this thing going in the UK now, bee friendly to bees, plant wildflowers so the bees can collect pollen. And again, zoomed in with the camera and got this photograph. This is the Crammer, which is just around the corner from where we live. It's a man-made pond. Just give me a second. I'm just keeping one eye on what's going on. Okay, and you'll forgive me for that, given what's going on. This is the Crammer. It's a man-made pond. It is 5 minutes from where I live. The tree on the left behind that tree is our church, which is St. James's Church. We get Canadian geese, we get mallard ducks, we get also swans and pigeons even, and ducks from around the world. And the next image, this is in town. I love the composition of this. You've got the cars on the left, you've got the no parking double yellow lines, and then you've got the shop with the merchandise outside. And if you had the 8K copy of this photograph, you can zoom in right, I'm pointing, and that's no good, is it? You can zoom in right to the top of the street and you can see the faces of people actually in the town centre. And then this is nightography. Now, as it says on the captions here, this image was taken at 11 o'clock at night. And because of the 4 small lights, yes, they're available on Amazon, the camera could see far more than I could see. I couldn't see a thing, yeah? And it took this photograph. So that's the nightography, and it takes photographs that look like they're in the daytime. The final photograph is this one. We've just had the Commonwealth Games in England, in Birmingham, in the Midlands of England, and there was a baton relay. The Queen's baton went all around the world to every Commonwealth country. Came to Devizes on this morning. 500 people gathered in the town square. That is a Shire horse, one of 4 Shire horses who work for the local brewery, and he carried the relay runner from the town centre to the canal, and then they walked and ran to Stonehenge, and from there to Bath, or Bath, depending on where you're from. So that basically is what the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is all about. It's about taking wonderful photographs and marvelous videos and making phone calls. So it's everything that you could want in a camera. It is available now. If you click the link in the carousel, it is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra smartphone. I'm going to come back to me. Right, I want to say a big thank you for watching me live today of days. I'll be back tomorrow, all things being equal, at 11 a.m. Eastern, with more information about items in the carousel. I own 75% of what's in the carousel, so if you've got questions about it, please do drop by tomorrow and ask them. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and bye for now. This has been Stephen in Wiltshire in England, live on Amazon Live, one of 6 Brits on Amazon Live. Amazing. Broadcasting from, just so you know where I'm broadcasting from, all the technology I've been using actually comes from BeLive. Wait a minute. Actually comes from BeLive. See that logo. And still with me is Dr. Elo, who's also an Amazon Live broadcaster on BeLive. And I will see you later. And check out Dr. Elo's account. If you want to post the link on Amazon, please do, Efrahin, and we'll take it from there. But I really enjoy this. I just so much enjoy being on Amazon Live and broadcasting. I've been doing this for 12 months. Every day is special. Being in your company today has been very special. Click the links in the carousel, find out more. Oh, I've forgotten. I forgot to do this. I better do this now. There are over 2,000 Amazon Live broadcasters, and I'm proud to be one of them. If you enjoy a broadcast and you want to see that person again, and hopefully you do, press the follow button, which is down in the carousel. I've got a comment coming in from Chris, and this is BeLive, so the comment will come in automatically. Thank you so much, Stephen and Dr. Elo. Brilliant. Thank you, Chris. And if you're enjoying Dr. Elo or me or any of the 2,000 plus broadcasters on Amazon Live, just click the link to follow. It means that you'll be able to find us later. We don't get your details. They stay with Amazon. This is totally secure. And enjoy your day. And goodbye for now. I'm going to stop blabbing for Britain. Thank you.